granted.
Through shadow and flame, a spark in the void, a code with a name. Not chance, not luck, a hand in disguise. The moment you break is when fate your eyes. Written in stars, encrypted in pain. He cracks the threads that the world can't contain. Future forged with every strike. He rewrites time like a digital spike. No more waiting, no divine signs. He takes the gears and realigns. It's a redesign. He fades your eyes, every broken line. Rise, rise, feel the fracture in the skies. He don't follow fate, he fades your eyes. Burn the scripts, let the old gods fall. One will rise to rewrite it all. No chains, no lies, just fire in his eyes. When the world locks down, he fades your eyes. Binary wings, halo of steel. Moves like myth, but his force is real. Breaks every limit with a silent glare. Turns prophecy to a blank stare. Born in lack, raised by war. Crafted his path from server core. Not chosen, he chooses the flame. Every reset, you whisper his name. He don't kneel, don't ask why. He just stares fate in the eye. Hack the stars, breach the divine. Reality bends when he fakes your eyes. Rise, feel the fracture in the skies. He don't follow fate, he fakes your eyes. Burn the scripts, let the old gods fall. One will rise to rewrite it all. No chains, no lies, just fire in his eyes. When the world locks down, he fakes your eyes. One thread breaks, another begins. Destiny isn't given, it's taken by him. Stand tall, hear the echo in the cries, Vatrize the world till the old truth dies. New code, new law, new rise. From ashes of time, he vaporized. And when the last light fades from the skies, one voice remains, Vatrize.
All right. Just let me know if you guys can hear me just fine. I've been having some technical difficulties when it comes to the audio, fluctuations in volume and whatnot, and sound with the music and stuff like that. But yeah, let me know. I thought we'd have some conversations because I've been seeing a lot and I've been covering a little bit, especially the video I did with, what was it, Lady Decade, in regards to the quality of the product of Mortal Kombat 1 versus Fatal Fury. And that kind of made me think just about whether or not, based on some of the comments, about, you know, where Mortal Kombat's at, considering that Ed Boon has just recently tweeted out that Mortal Kombat 1 is still being played in one of the top charts. Let me just double check, because I'm pretty sure audio's fine for you. Excellent, bro. So I just want to have a look because I did save it. Let's see what we see. So this is in the PlayStation 5 top downloaded games for April 2025 of North America. So I might actually get that on screen at the moment. And of course we do have some Mortal Kombat Trilogy. This is playing on Good Old Games, PC storefront where you can play good old games, right? I mean, it's not hard, right? It's kind of easy to figure out. So I'm just going to get this tweet up on screen, and so that way you guys can check it out. But how is everyone going? Now, it is, if people are wanting in on the chat, just let me know. All you got to do is just jump into the Discord, and you're more than welcome to jump on in, and we'll actually, you know, if you want to talk about the state of MK or stuff in the FGC, we're going to get to all of that today. So, but yeah, let me know. So, sounds good. Maybe a little low. It is a little low because the problem, I don't know what happened, right? Because my microphone is pretty good. I've got like one of those black Yeti, like the Blue Yeti microphones, and for some reason, for whatever weird fucking reason, it's been picking up a lot of ambient sounds. Never used to before. So I had sort of tried out some programs. I was trying out Logitech Tune. I was trying out what's it called? It's some other mixing program that I think Logitech put out as well, possibly. I have a feeling that stuff has messed with things, but I've uninstalled all that shit. So, right, it shouldn't be hopefully causing any issues. However, you know, it is the nature of the business, so to speak. Right, let's check it out. This is Edward's cheat. It could be a cheat tweet, right? And this was posted. When did he post this? May 8th. What's the date today? 9th. Yep. So yesterday my time, right? PlayStation 5's top downloaded games for April 2025 in North America. I'm having a look at this list, right? And I'm trying to, I mean, back in the old days, like especially in the PS3 days, you would have a really good list of exclusive PlayStation 3 titles, right? Right here, okay? everything from maybe an Uncharted release or perhaps a Resistance release, God of War release, you know, any of the sort of big hitters that they had back in the day. And so it's kind of interesting now that it's basically just multi-platform titles, right? And you might go, but Fate, there's Days Gone. Well, Days Gone, boys and girls, is on PC, right? It's been on PC for quite a while now, right? And per typical is what you usually get with like the leading platform, is you do also get a bunch of, you know, sports games in there as well, right? But let's go from the top to the bottom, right? Let's have a little bit of a gaming discussion, right? But I think it's gone up number 1. I think it was at 19 at one point, but now it's gone up to 18 from memory. Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered, obviously. People are hungry. People love Oblivion, so that makes a lot of sense that that would be there. We got Minecraft. It's fucking Minecraft, especially after the movie coming out and doing fairly well. That's obviously going to be a bump in sales and playthrough. Forza Horizon 5. So that's been available on PC for a while. But this, you know, I never thought, like, if you took me back to 2010 when I was doing PS3 stuff and, you know, somebody could come from the future and they'd said, you're going to be getting Xbox games on PC, I'd be like, nah, it's never happening. It's PS3, sorry. Yeah, it's never happening, right? Actually, let alone, there was a period of time where I actually thought that they would never put their games on PC. But I think this is, I know it sounds kind of weird to say, but I think this is basically the way that things should be going. Is that we shouldn't be having, like the hardware should be immaterial, right? It's all about what the companies themselves are offering software-wise, right? And considering the rising costs, things like that, when it comes to game production, it makes a lot more sense to be able to put your product on as many platforms available out there, which is why, for a small period of history, over on the Epic Games Store, and Tim Sweeney was trying to keep PC releases locked over onto the Epic Games Store, which is where obviously the main, obviously the front end for Fortnite, and hoping that he could build his store up to be something comparative to Steam. Didn't happen, right? Didn't happen at all, right? So ultimately, thank God, by the way, thank God, you know, that didn't occur. So it's good to see, you know, even something like, who would have thought seeing a Forza game on a PlayStation, right? That's crazy, right? MLB The Show 2025. Can somebody put that fucking game on PC, please? Right, we got some mobile crap. So I got a secret here, right? I love baseball games. I'm terrible at them, but I love baseball games. I love NASCAR games, right? I'm kind of into like some American sports and motorsports as well. So like it's, you know, so I really want MLB The Show on PC. I thought they were going to bring it out a few years ago, but it never came to fruition. So I'm just hoping that Sony, you know, will take the thumb out of the arse and bring it out. NBA 2K25, obviously, that's going to be a big one up there. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is going gangbusters, right? Absolutely, just kicking ass. It's doing really well, right? We also have Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Obviously, a COD title is going to be up there. I mean, I know COD gets a lot of hate, but from a dirty, filthy, casual perspective, even though I shower daily, it is actually, it can be fun, right? It's just as something to enjoy. However, kind of like Mortal Kombat 1, it's kind of turned into a little bit of McDonald's shooting game, just like Fortnite as well, where you're getting like these characters in there that just, they're not COD, right? It's fucking bizarre, man. Like, it really is. Obviously, Grand Theft Auto 5 is still a big one. I occasionally load that up for the online play. That's a lot of fun. I know they also brought out the, essentially their remastered version, which I didn't bother with because apparently a lot of people were having issues with the transfer from your account from legacy version to the new one. And I thought, fuck that. It's not worth it. You know, I don't want to lose like years upon years of content and stuff that I've accrued by playing. Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, that's pretty interesting, as well as Assassin's Creed rounding out 9 and 10. Shadows. I mean, listen, like, I know console people for a long time would sort of give shit to PC people and say we've got no games. That's actually absolute falsehood. We got so many games on there. It's just that when you're playing on console, it feels like you don't have a maybe a lot, maybe, right? And like to have Assassin's Creed Shadows up there, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. It's just after all the shit, right? People must be desperate for something. Coming at number 11, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I haven't played that yet. I've got it. Right, I bought it like cheap, and then I haven't played it yet. Obviously, Days Gone Remastered. Now, if you got Days Gone on PC, what it is, it's a free update, right? And also, they also released on the same day a DLC, which adds in like a horde mode and stuff like that, right? And don't worry, guys. Once I've gone through this tweet, we're gonna scroll up, and I'm gonna start going through some of the comments. So if you can't jump on the show, that's perfectly fine. We can do chat back and forth in here as well. Now, Split Fiction. That's an interesting one because I hear either good things or bad things about it. I do have it on my wish list on the EA app, so I am curious about it. We obviously got a few sports titles coming up now with EA Sports FC 25, which is, I think is it football club, football champion? Basically soccer, right? EA Sports College Football 25, WWE 2K25, EA Sports Madden NFL 25. Now, this we'll come back to Mortal Kombat, right? Now, this is one of my like guilty pleasures. I love golf games as well, right? So having PGA Tour 2K25 up there. I must admit though, I don't have the latest one, which is that one. I've got, I think, 2023, and also I've been playing the one I really love, which is over on the EA App Store. At least if you're on PC. It's the PGA, just want to get the name right, the PGA Tour Road to the Masters, or EA Sports PGA Tour one, so that you can play, which is really fucking good. Really love it, it's awesome, right? And of course, we got coming in at number 20 with Hogwarts Legacy. Now, Mortal Kombat, right? So, what's the competition, MK? We've got Street Fighter 6, we've got Tekken 8, we got Fatal Fury that's just come out. Maybe Grand Blue, maybe, right? I don't think I'm going to see Grand Blue in this list, right? Even though it's an amazing fighting game, right? So it makes a lot of sense, you know, in some part that the home team would support the home team, right? So MK being in the list, you know, it doesn't shock me to a degree, but at the same time, it makes me wonder, considering that the player base in general is absolutely dwarfing MK1 for when people obviously are playing in something like Street Fighter 6, possibly Tekken 8, stuff like that, right? Now, the thing is, though, that this seems to be something that Ed Boon is doing a little bit more lately, right? That, you know, it's... I don't know, like, are they trying to keep this game relevant in the eye of the public? You know, we got the movie coming out later in the year. Right, can't wait for that. Can't wait for that. It's going to be a banger, right? Can't wait. So, I've sort of talked about this before. I think they're going to drag things out, right? They're going to drag it out with bits and pieces of DLC, probably a costume, palette color. They're obviously recycling the invasion seasons, which, you know, everyone loves those fucking invasions. So, if they cancel... If they come out and go, nah, no more support, that's going to kill a lot of momentum. Like a lot of momentum towards the movie. Not that anyone has really got their wang out for that shit. I mean, I don't. Because as far as I'm concerned, it's just glorified, you know, fan fiction at this point. Right? But it's interesting, the mindset is why he keeps doing this. Right? Now, it could be that the powers that be are saying to Edward, hey, right, tell people that, you know, this game's doing great, right? Now, this is only on the PlayStation 5. It's not accounting for Xbox. I'd have to look in to see Xbox. It is certainly not in the top 20 when it comes to Steam, right, on PC, okay? Now, I might be able to filter fighting games and see where it's at, but even then, I wouldn't imagine that it would be at the top either. It'd be very interesting to see. If anyone actually has a link, please let me know. Because I'd love to see the Xbox, like, you know, games that they're playing. Now, the other thing, too, is it says it's PlayStation 5's top downloaded games. Not played. Downloaded. Right? which indicates that, be it a sale or a new release, obviously for something like Elder Scrolls, Forza Horizon 5, even Expedition 33, that this is... So they've bought the game, they've downloaded it, right? But you could download it and go, oh yeah, and play it for 5 minutes, and that's the end of it. Right? So when I see stuff like this, I have to go, okay, there's a couple of things, right? Is it the top played? Like, where is it sitting in the most played games for the month? Right? Also, things that that we'll never see is retention rate. Right? Unless you go onto some of those websites that kind of do a relatively rough aggregate, perhaps, of playtime. So there's no... We're not going to have accurate playtime unless, obviously, you're checking on Steam. We're also not going to have return rate. How many people have bought these things, right, and then refunded it? And, of course, sales, right? So right now, Mortal Kombat 1 has a deep dish discount, I believe. Let me just double-check. I want to double-check and make sure, right? I don't want to get it wrong, right? Mortal Kombat 1. Currently on PC, it has a deep dish discount of 67%. Currently, the game is going for Chaos Reigns Collection at $42.88. That's $42.88 too much. So, you know, and then, because it mentions, like in the banner, that it's up to 90% on some of their games in their franchise. So it looks like MK11 paired, like MK11 Ultimate with Injustice 2 Legendary is 90%. That's a pretty deep discount. Triple D, bro! Right? Everyone loves them triple Ds, right? So, you know, and it looks like it's just for the MK franchise. Yep, it's just for the Mortal Kombat franchise, right? So, and the funny part is they've been doing this for a while, right? They've been doing that for quite a while, right? So anyway, let's get some gameplay on the screen, and let's go through some of your comments, right? Because we've had a few people talking. How you going? We got Duan, Michael, Hate on Untamed. How you going? Dark Side. How you going, brother? Right, Rev. I'm just trying to see where people start asking stuff. Got Martin. How you going, brother? John R. How you going, man? Hopefully the audio is fine now. Unknown subject says, hello, Fate. I didn't think it could be saved right now. Why the fuck is GTA 5 still being downloaded? Well, I mean, listen. To be fair, GTA 5 is a fun game, right? Getting online and blasting the absolute piss out of people is a lot of fun, right? Getting into some of those. Listen, I play on PC, right? So on PC, it's pretty sexy. Right? I mean, it is pretty sexy, man. Right? Like, and I've invested a little bit into GTA Online as well. So, yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun, right? So Duan, I think it is. Says, I think you said, I'm assuming you're saying you got a PS3, PS4, PS5. I need to get a PC. Absolutely. For if no other reason, apart from the graphics and the amount of games, you don't have to pay to play online, right? I'm very staunchly against that. When you've already bought your game, right, and then you've got to subscribe to access another portion of it. That kind of pisses me off, right? Martin says, someone should tag the balding pubic mound and ask him where does Tekken 8 fit into the list. He probably has something to say again with MK1 being there and not Tekken 8. He also says, I believe he's more of a Tekken guy than MK guy. Unknown subject says, Halo apparently is coming to PlayStation. Efficient works. There you go, man. He says, how you doing? Would you like it if the time duration of performing a fatality went back to inputting these moves within a few seconds instead of how it is now? 100%. Absolutely. Performing a finishing move was part of the skill. Right? So yeah, anyone can fight, you know, beat the computer or people, whatever. But to be able to perform a finishing move was part of the skill. It's what used to impress people. Yeah, you literally get a sliver of time. You gotta be like, brr. It's like like one of those cool little challenges is like when you're playing MK2 and you try and do Reptile's invisible fatality, right? So you gotta go up, up, down, high punch, right? So you instantly go invisible. Unless you do it before it goes finish him. But I always like it when it goes finish him. Up, up, down, high punch, and then forward, down, high kick, right? And see how fast you can nail that out. And that's why, like, it's kind of interesting that on the flip side, we get Sub-Zeros like freeze and then shatter. So you can sit there and freeze and freeze and freeze and freeze and freeze and freeze and freeze, and then do the shatter, or throw, or you know, if it's on a stage fatality stage, you could do a stage fatality, or you can throw the ice grenade, you know, and blow them the fuck up, right? But yeah, absolutely, it should return to being fast like that, because because you know, if people can't do it, it's a skill issue, right? Unknown says, stupid that Assassin's Creed Shadows is in top 10. Yeah, I know. People must be desperate. Look, man. Assassin's Creed just could be one of those things that just sells. Right? Ooh. My... Wow. What's that? Is that in Fortnite or is... Yeah. Oh. Yeah, okay. I'm a huge Knight Rider fan. I am a Gen Xer after all. And my son sent me a picture. They got Knight Rider in Fortnite. That's I'm gonna be poor, right? I'm gonna be poor. Anyway, yeah, Assassin's Creed, man, fucking hell, like Shadows. Like, how hard was it, right? We've been waiting so long. It's like, well, not we, but like I have been waiting so long to get an Assassin's Creed game, right? In Japan, and you think, oh, okay, we're gonna be playing as a fucking ninja. And they fuck it up. How could you, like, literally, that's a slam dunk of an idea, and they still messed it up. Martin says, MK Tom Brady must be enjoying MK1 right now, live streaming in imaginary mode on Twitch, where he says he's live, but we can't see him. Yeah, you know what, I've seen some of that. He says he's live. Is he live? Now, he could be live streaming to his friends. Right? I mean, technically speaking, you can live stream, right, on Discord to the people in the VC, right? You know, but generally, if you're saying you're live streaming, you know what I mean? Anyway, sounds like bullshit to me, but whatever. You know, I'm not his wife. So, Michael said, I just finished Indiana and I enjoyed it. Okay, so it's a good game, is it? Yeah? Oh, that's cool. Edward Boom must be proud his game placed 18th. Well, I think it's a flex against the fact that there's no other fighting game in the list. I think that's the issue. Or not the issue, the thing that he's trying to portray. He's trying to say, listen, you know, despite all its negative press and people being unhappy with the game, it's showing up. Now, it'd be interesting to find out if there were some deep dish sales on MK in April as well. Okay? Easter sales, perhaps. I don't know. Here you go, Golly. What's happening, bro? Unknown subject. Show us the PC list of most downloaded games in April. Oh, okay. All right. Let me see if I can find that. Let me see how I can go about that. Never get into GTA Online. Yeah, but it's fun, man. Like, it's, you know, it's cool. Snap. We can go. So maybe top sellers. I don't know if you can you? I'm just trying to see if we can section it out by downloaded. Maybe what? Maybe new sellers? I don't know. Show selected types. Nah, not downloadable content. Number of players. Let me do a Google search and see if I can find something a little bit more accurate. Okay. Victor Perry, here you go, man. I got every MK game made, but find myself playing the original arcade games on MAME and Mugen games the most, or MK Trilogy / MK4 on GOG. Yeah, I remember when they announced this on GOG, and I was so fucking excited, man. I was so excited, dude. Right? And it's great. It's the best port thus far. Although there are a couple of graphical glitches I have noticed. On Khan's Arena, like the sky is a little bit funny. I don't know how to fix that. But yeah, you know, it is the best. So, Martin says I tagged him and said what he says on his Twitter, even if I don't believe it. Well, you know. Hey, listen, man. Listen, the Mafia can say whatever the fuck they want, right? nobody checks and balances them because they're, you know, they're all, you know what I'm saying, right? How you going, Slit? What's happening, bro? Thank you again for the video that I did coverage of. Thanks again, man. David Thomas Gaming, how you going, man? Rev, GTA Online to me was okay, but ever since the last few years, the content to me has been drip fed. True. Yeah. I mean, I got a bunch of cars. You know, I got a fucking submarine. Got a boat. Got a couple of apartments, bikes. You know, I'm pretty happy. You know what I mean? Like, I could just load it up and just, you know, muck around and shit, stuff like that, right? Most downloaded games on Steam. Charts overview. Here we go. Okay, all right. Okay, here we go. So weekly charts. Top sellings, most played, weekly, monthly. Okay, we might be able to. All right. Okay. All right. We might be able to look into this. Let me set up a page, right? And let's have a squizzy at this. Okay, I think we can do this. Yeah, I think we can do this. Yeah. All right. Okay. Cool. Let's do it. All right. So, this is the charts overview, right? This is on steampower.com/charts. We got things like top sellers, most played. Then we got weekly charts, top new releases, things like that. So I let's kind of like, I would assume. All right, so let's do the weekly chart of like April. What? Maybe this week. Possibly. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. We'll see how we go. Right. So, weekly top sellers. Right. So think of it like this, right? If they say most downloaded versus like bought, it's kind of the same thing, right? If you buy the game, right, I don't know how to say this without sounding like a complete tard, but basically I don't see the difference between downloading the game and buying the game, right? Because why? Yeah, like, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it's just kind of, yeah, I don't know. Right, I don't know. All right, anyway, so weekly top sellers, right? Now, Counter-Strike 2. Yeah. It's a free game. Okay? It's a free fucking game. Nobody's buying it unless you're like buying something like within the game. All right? But anyway, we can still, you know, get a metric of whatever else. Now, in direct comparison, right, we have here the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. So that kind of tees up. Okay, it looks like it was #1 spot, but it's come down one. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is higher. Now, this is really interesting. Right? So, this is top sellers, okay? The Steam Deck, the $649 price point Steam Deck, sitting at #4. Piece of hardware, right? That's pretty impressive, right? Schedule 1, which is the, I think you can be a drug dealer. What the fuck? Right? You can be I think you can be a drug lord or stuff like that. I think a couple of the boys on the Discord have actually played it. Rust, that's impressive, right? Rust has been out for quite a long time, you know. And again, this is top sellers, right? Top 100 products by revenue. Okay, so now I'd have to check if there is DLC to buy in Rust, but I'm assuming this is just straight off the bat. Although, maybe or maybe not, right? Because we've got a couple of free-to-play titles in here, but they do sell microtransactions as well. Right, so we've got V Rising, good game by the way. So War Thunder, Marvel Rivals, obviously free-to-play, but both have microtransactions in there as well. So, you know, it's not a fair stretch to go, okay, yeah, that's a big revenue stream for them, right? This one, I think, when did this come out? Oh no, it's been out for a little bit. Drive Beyond Horizons, Crusader Kings 3. Now that could be a jump up. Yeah, it's up. You know, is that up 15 spots? Change in rank. Okay, yeah. So that kind of makes sense. We've got Repo, Stellaris. Like on PC, man, you get a massive like range of games that people are playing. Okay, you'll notice that on consoles, it's kind of a little bit more, you know, only 3-4 type genres. But on PC, man, you know, it's pretty big. But what you'll notice though is no fighting game. Not a single fighting game, right? And to be fair, that's fine. Okay, that's in the top 20, so 20 for 20, right? There's no fighting game at all. Okay, but the biggest fighting game would be like Street Fighter 6. I'd say it'd be Street Fighter 6, right? Now if we go, so hang on, let's go back. Currently, the players online right now is 36,716,000 people. Right, that's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy, right? Now, if we want to go by most played, okay. So if we're going by most played or current players right now, so this right now live is the current players in the game, and then the peak of today. So the last 24 hours, right? Now, obviously, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we got 6 free-to-play titles. You know, obviously they're gonna always be up there because of the nature of the beast. Separated by Rust, and then we go down to another free-to-play with PUBG. Right, so PUBG after all this time is still in there. Bongo the cat. What the fuck, man? What the fuck is that, right? Now that's pretty interesting. Because Baldur's Gate's been out for a while, and it's still getting a lot of play, right? Which is pretty decent. Throwing in Call of Duty, of course, and then Oblivion Remastered, which is a new release-ish, right? It's been about, what? How long's it been out for? About a week or so, give or take? What's it say? When did it come out? 23rd, yeah. Schedule 1, Repo. So some of these line up with, like, the sales, and also, like, most played as well, as you can see here, okay? And then, obviously, yeah, Expedition, we got Rainbow Six Siege. So that's up there too, right? But there's no fighting games, right? We're going past 20. I'm still going down. I just want to see if any of them pop up. The closest to a fighting game so far is Naraka Blade Point. That's the closest. Okay, it's the closest fighting game. All right. Because it technically is, right? Even though it's a third person, it technically is, right? Martial art combat. So, but true fighting game. I'm still scrolling down. We're getting close to 100. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Brawlhalla, right? So, and free to play, of course, but you know. Smash, it's a Smash clone. Okay. Super Smash clone. Brilliant fucking fighting game. If anyone that's interested in Smash clone type games, there are a bunch on PC, but this one is really good. Really, really good, right? So out of that, Brawlhalla is the only technically true fighting game, or fighter, on the list, not including Naraka. So yeah. That's and listen, that's fine. Like, PC has never been like the forefront of fighting games, and it will probably take still quite a long time before it gets to that. But then fighting games is a niche genre. As much as I love fighting games, it's a niche genre. You know, it is what it is, right? But we'll get into the discussion. Actually, if you guys have any questions about can Mortal Kombat be saved, start posting them in the chat, and I'll start reading them out. And we'll talk about that as well. And then we'll just have a quick look at the top new releases. Okay. February's top releases sort of... What the fuck is it doing from February? How? We don't want February. Why is it only? It's okay. Why is it only doing it from that? Okay, fine, whatever. That's the top sellers, most played. I consider most. Yeah, no, actually, no, I don't. Okay, all right, that's fine. All right, so yeah, so when I was doing that, and again, shout out to Slit for this. When I was doing the coverage of Lady Decade's video about MK, right? It is very interesting, like, because I know we've talked about this for the longest time. I don't think Mortal Kombat can be saved within the realm of MK1. I think that MK1 has done like way too much damage. Now I believe the pro scene is fairly happy in the position of MK1. It seems like they've kind of got, you know, the game that they've been after for a while, which is fine. And I know that some people in the pro scene for a while have stated that it usually takes NetherRealm a couple of years to get the game in a position where, you know, it's actually suitable for gameplay. Now, I think that's fucking horseshit. Right? Just in the general sense, I think that's horse piss. I'm not blaming the people saying it. I'm saying that no company out there should make it so that, you know, it takes a good year or two. Oh, hang on, wrong one. A good year or two to actually, you know, fix the game or get the game to a point where it's actually decent. I think that's terrible. I don't think that should be a thing at all, right? So, you know, because the problem is, though, it's like, for them and what they do with the game, it makes perfect sense that they would be happy. But as an overall product, it doesn't fix anything. Like, it doesn't matter if you fix, you know, plus or minus frames here or here, you know, add a special move here or here. While it's cool and appreciative for that, it doesn't change. It doesn't suddenly change the overall opinion and dynamic of the product. Right? It's still crap. It's still missing stuff. It still feels like it doesn't have any soul in it, and that's the problem. So, so let's ask the question. He says, you get to make a Mortal Kombat. What side options would you add in MK aside from fighting and story? Bonus features, extras, modes, whatever. Okay, so obviously, so I would kind of, I mean, they've done it in the past, right? In the 3D era. I would obviously have some sort of thing where you can go in and check all old artwork and stuff like that related to games, you know, to give people some nostalgia history. That's not really game mode, but that's kind of extra fluff. Definitely a crypt, right? Definitely a crypt. Definitely any side game that they have made in the past, bring it in, and then some new ones, right? I would even bring in a shooter, a third-person shooter, you know, as a mini game, you know, something really lightweight. So what you do is you take the chibi characters, like the miniature characters from MK9 in the actual like King of the Hill lobby where you had them all sitting at the bottom throwing fruit and stuff like that. You take those characters and you make it like a whole bunch of them. You put some guns in their hand and you run around third person in different arenas, right? And you could call it, you know, I don't know what you could call it, something fucking funny, right? And that would be hilarious. Okay, so how do I know you can do this? Because they're doing it in Granblue Fantasy vs. Rising right now with Granbrews. In Granbrews, they have a variety of stages where you can actually pick up weapons and fire them at your opponents. Okay, so and that's just to most of the stages are designed in that way to slow them down, to stop them, right, or maybe knock them off a ledge. But imagine doing that. Imagine that every little mini character has their own unique special move, just one, right? So Scorpion would have his spear, Sub-Zero would have his freeze, right? But then you have all of these weapons you can pick up, but they're random, like Mario Kart pickups. You pick it up, and it gives you a random weapon. You could play Team Deathmatch, you could do free-for-all, that sort of stuff. You could also, with that particular... So in saying that, though, it depends how you do it. If you do it like Grand Brews, you can have a variety of stages that are random that you play on. But I prefer it that you could choose the mode. So I would have that mode over here. I would have another mode where you would have random massive bosses just spawn in, right? So you join a team, right? And it's like a raid. It's like playing a raid in an MMO, okay? And you have like big bosses that fall down, multi-stage bosses, and you as a big raid, 20 people, you got to try and take down this boss with the same idea of picking up different weapons, and then, going to town and try and kill them. Obviously, bring back things like Mortal Kombat, puzzle combat, chess combat. Look at a variety of other type game modes out there. Maybe you could have like a bowling, combat bowling, right? Or bowling combat, or tennis, or like you could literally do something like tennis, right? Where like if you certain power-ups on the ball could actually like kill them instantly, right? That'd be really cool. Okay. So you could actually go kind of nuts. I've been saying this for a while, right? And I'll get into the Conquest stuff in a minute, because I had a big talk with Totally the other day, and I've talked about it before. So I want to leave that to the end of what your question is. Is that when you load up a fighting game, right? The main premise of the fighting game is to fight, right? But what if you played a few rounds, you had enough, okay? So what else can you do? And if you use the blueprint of, say, everything from what Street Fighter's done with their Battle Hub mode, Grand Blue with their Lobby mode, and Grand Brews, you want to have things that keep people in the game, that don't get them logging out of the game, right? But they're still engaging with the product. They're still engaging with characters and the lore and stuff like that. So imagine you play some fights online, and then your mate hits you up. It's like, hey man, let's go play the MK shooter game, whatever you want to call it, right? Call it Combat Ode or something like that, right? And so then you team up and you jump in, you have a ball, just shooting other mini MK characters. Blood flies everywhere when they blow up from rocket launchers and flamethrowers and stuff like that. That'd be fucking cool, man, right? And what it does is it keeps people in the game. It keeps them engaged in the game, right? And then when they're ready to, they go, oh yeah, I might go some more fights, or might go play Arcade Tower and stuff like that, right? You design a lobby system, right? Much like Grand Blue, where maybe it's a big lobby and there's different parts of it that are themed around, say, the Pit, Living Forest, Combat Tomb, Deadpool, stuff like that. And then you would have access to the old games in the lobby, as well as from a menu too. So that way you could play these old games from within the game itself, right? That'd be awesome. So what that does is it keeps people engaged inside the game. They're not logging out. They're not going to play something else. They go, well, I don't want to play online anymore, or I don't want to play arcade anymore, and I don't want to play Conquest anymore. Maybe I'll just go have some fun. I'll jump online, play some Combat Ode, whatever, right? Or Mortal Kombat, or anything like that. I think that'd be really cool. I would redesign Mortal Kombat slightly to make it so that you can customize the vehicle to whatever you want, and then choose any character you want. So that way, you're not sort of stuck in. The character itself has its own special move that you can activate on the map, but the vehicle itself you can customize, however you want. So that way, they could make it so you can unlock more rims and different types of tires and all sorts of shit like that. That's what I do. Now, as far as Conquest goes, because Slit says John Tobias wanted to make an open world MK game. So one thing I didn't mention the other day, but back in the day, this dude I knew, he and I were designing, like on paper, an open world Mortal Kombat game called Conquer with a K. And it was going to be essentially an MMO styled game, right? You take what they did in Deception's Conquest. You create your own character. It's not you're not running around Scorpion or Sub-Zero, right? And then you have different realms, okay? So you would start off in Earthrealm. This is what me and TMK spoke about the other night. You start off in Earthrealm, but not all of Earthrealm, obviously, but they could add on to it through future patches. Every realm would have its own crypt. Every realm would obviously have its main storytelling, possibly a big boss at the end, side quests. You know, you could challenge people out in the real world. You see people running around the real world. Imagine taking the visual style of MK11's crypt mode, but open world. Right? He says, could I be a Shokin? Yes, that was something else, that you could choose any race, right? And then you'd have a variety of classes, I suppose, you could choose from, that sort of thing. And yeah, that'd be pretty awesome. That would be very, very cool. And it's online. That means that, you know, again, it would be its own massive game mode. It'd be an MMO, the first of its kind, Mortal Kombat MMO, and that'd be phenomenal. They want to talk about making live service shit and making money. This is how you do it, bro. Right? And what you do too, and I talked about this the other night, you make that mode free to play. Okay? Make it free to play so you can download it individually without needing the main game. But if you get the main game, okay, you get a whole bunch of extra shit that you don't normally have access to for your character design, like different gear sets, costumes, you know, stuff like that. That's what I do, okay? Because you could market the fuck out of it. It would be continual content, like just constant events, quests, side quests, storytelling. And then, as what we were talking about the other night, you would have something like the very first expansion, right? So once you've finished kind of with Earthrealm, the very first expansion, you have like some sort of live event like they do in Fortnite, and it's something to do with Outworld. And then the first expansion would simply be called Outworld, right? And then you would gain access to be able to transport to Outworld, and then, you know, do basically the same sort of thing, except it will be different characters you come across, all that sort of stuff. Imagine going on a quest line, because when you choose your race, or depending on what affiliation you align yourself with, so maybe you choose human, but you align yourself with the Lin Kuei, then there might be a quest line down the track that you can unlock and then gain access to the Shirai Ryu. So then you can actually visit the Shirai Ryu temples and get quests from there to unlock extra gear for your character. You know, all sorts of shit, right? That would be... Oh, I'd be on that every day, right? It'd be absolutely phenomenal. It would change the landscape of fighting games, because it would be something that no other fighting game has done before, right? So that'd be really cool. Donga, how you going, man? What would you think if they brought the game's dynamics back close to the classics with highly realistic visuals, but added a dodge or sort of sidestepping components to the 2D fighting? 100% agree. Yep, 100%. So, a couple of things I would remove. I don't like the idea of doing combos without touching the person. So that needs to go. Right? That needs to go. Okay? If you want to do one of those combos where you're literally pressing buttons in a sequence, you got to be touching them. Other fighting games do it. Mortal Kombat needs to do it. How you going, Nerd Cage? What's happening, bro? What's happening, man? Stick around for a little bit, and I will play you one of your two songs, right? So I'll do that in a couple of minutes, and I've made you a couple of songs, so I'll choose one of the two, and yeah, hopefully it'll be alright. So hopefully you'll like it. So yeah, I would do that. I would go back to the more traditional style of Mortal Kombat. You know, your standard high kick, high punch, low kick. You know, standard sweep, standard roundhouse, really powerful anti-air with the uppercut. I'd have everyone have an air throw as well, right? And the dodge mechanic. I love the dodge mechanic that we have in Grand Blue, and I think it would be perfect. Absolutely perfect, right? Because if you took some of the systems or the way that they do their combat in Grand Blue, it actually would translate fairly well over to Mortal Kombat. You wouldn't essentially need combo breakers, because you wouldn't have the combos be going super crazy, right? The combos themselves would be, fairly decent, right? And so you could have a dodge mechanic, that dodge mechanic would be like dodging out of the way of any physical or projectile attack. You could also dodge forward. And we're doing all this in Granblue. That's why I've been such a proponent and talk highly of Granblue, because Granblue they actually thought about the whole, like, everything to do with, all right, so we got some great offense. Now we need to make sure that we have some great defense over here to deal with that, right? And I think that's what's needed. Like, absolutely is what's needed, right? So before we continue, I want to play Nerd Cage Live song. Hopefully you like it. Hopefully, I always get nervous with this sort of thing. And then we'll come back right after this Fate Wave, and then we'll continue on conversations. If you have any questions for Mortal Kombat, like talking about that sort of stuff, let me know. Just post it in the chat, and I'll read it when I come back. And yes, yeah, I think we're ready. Let's do it.
Live from the cage where the nerds unite, Jay steps in with the beard and might. One man, one mic, and a warrior's flair. You know it's real when the brim's in the air. Live from the cage where the nerds unite, Jay steps in with the beard and might. One man, one mic, and a warrior's flair. You know it's real when the brim's in the air. Step in the ring, hear the theme go wild. Jay drop facts with that mortal style. From the crypt to the towers, he knows the code. Every combo, every clash, every fatal blow. With a beard so sharp it can slice through steel. That Kung Lao drip, man, the look is real. Talking MK movies, games and lore. He'll bring the heat like a scorpion roar. Watch the stream, let the hype begin. It's Nerd Cage Live, let the battle spin. Jay got that passion, you feel it clear. One shout from him and the crowd goes near. He got the beard of a monk, heart of a champ, lighting up the screen like a torch in the camp. Flawless flow with the hat game strong. Jay's love for MK been loud all along. Raise your hands, bring the hype alive. It's go time, baby, on Nerd Cage Live. Not just a fan, he's the lore's front line. With that Kung Lao beard, he's forever divine. Forever divine. Fatalities break, but his voice stays firm. He could narrate a match and make the world turn. Sonya to Liu, from Raiden to Khan. Jay got the knowledge that stretches long. Reppin' the nerd life, never ashamed. He a hero in the shadows of the MK game. Mike in his grip, got the heart of a sage. Dropping wisdom like it's thunder from Cage. He ain't just watching, he's part of the fight. Living that lore in the glow of the night. That beard, it's a symbol, that voice, it's a blade. Every stream a battle laid. He got the beard of a monk, soul of a king. MK running through every word he bring. From the pit to the throne, he's always live. Jay's the warrior of Nerd Cage Live. Shout to the fans, let the fandom thrive. Kung Lao proud, he'll keep the flame alive. No lies, no pause, just truth and pride. That chin beard legend will never subside. Nerd Cage Live. Jay wins. Epicity.
All right. So there you go, man. Listen, so if you want it, just hit me up on Discord or wherever, and I'll send it to you. So yeah. I hope it was alright, man. I hope it was alright. So it's a lot of fun making that stuff. It's cool. So Tonga says, glad to have you back. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks, dude. It's good to be back. It is good to be back. So, yeah, I'm just hoping that Mortal Kombat, they'll announce something for Mortal Kombat's 30th. You know, like we absolutely need. So we need a win. We need a win. So, I loved it. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah. Oh, thank you, dude. Yeah, just there. Hit me up on. I don't know if I can send files on Twitter. I don't know if I can. I know I can on Discord, right? So yeah, just let me know, man, and I'll send it to you did that song. Yeah, all the music that you hear on the channel, it doesn't matter what you hear. It's all been created by Fate AI, AI, right? But I'm calling it Fate AI because I can, and it's my house, so you know. But yeah, it's all original music stuff that's been done through the power of the internet. You know what I'm talking about, right? So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. You're on Discord and X. Okay, cool. Yeah, well, add me on maybe I think I'll find you on. Yeah, I don't know. Can you send files on X? I don't know. I know you can on Discord, but it's up to you, man. It's up to you. So yeah, Slit says if I was president of Warner Brothers Games, I'd fire Dom and change my title from president to cunt. All right, listen. Right. How long are you sticking around for, nerd? Because I do have your second song as well, so we can always play your second song too. Yeah, just let me know, and I can play it if the people want to hear it. We can load that up as well. Because I'll send them both to you anyway. So what I would do, right? I don't like NetherRealm Studios as a name. I hate it. Never liked it. Don't like it. Right? Don't like it at all. Right? I would have preferred Outworld Studios. Right? You're at the gym listening. Okay, cool. Give me a couple minutes. I'll get this out of my system, and then I'll play your second one. I don't know. I think the first one's probably the best, but it doesn't matter. I'll play it anyway. So, and sometimes I think. So what usually happens is that usually you get like a couple of versions of a song. So you'll put the lyrics in, and then it will spit out a couple of different variations. So it'll probably still have the same lyrics, but it'll have like a different beat or tune to it as well. And yeah, it's been a fun. Me and the boys have been going crazy. It's been a lot of fun doing all of this sort of stuff. So we got hype tracks, we got diss tracks, we got everything, you know. And even the song that I played at the start of the stream, the very first Fate Wave song after the intro, I made that 5 minutes before launch. I tell a lie. It was about 10 minutes before launch, right? So yeah, so that was kind of cool. So yeah, we'll load that up in a second, and I'm just trying to find blah blah blah. But yeah, I would call it Outworld Studios. I would absolutely call it Outworld Studios, right? Because it makes, to me, it kind of, I don't know, I prefer it. Just, I don't know, it sounds better, man, right? Calling it NetherRealm, I know NetherRealm, like, it's part of Mortal Kombat, but it's literally hell, right? It's kind of ironic when you think about it, you know, that they called it hell, and then the games have turned to shit, right? I don't think... I think it's a fair stretch of the imagination, you know what I'm saying? That, like, it's like, you know, like, maybe there's a bit of a connection there, right? Anyway, all right, let's do the second song while you're here, man, because we've got to, if you're in the gym, we've got to keep you, right? Got to keep going. All right, let's fucking go.
From the cage where the nerds unite, Jay steps in with the beard and might. One man, one mic, and a warrior's flair. You know it's real when the brim's in the air. Step in the ring, hear the theme go wild. Jay drop facts with that mortal style. From the crypt to the towers, he knows the code. Every combo, every clash, every fatal blow. With a beard so sharp it can slice through steel. feel that Kung Lao drip, man, the look is real. Talking MK movies, games, and lore. He'll bring the heat like a scorpion roar. Watch the stream, let the hype begin. It's Nerd Cage live, let the battle spin. Jay got that passion, you feel it clear. One shout from him and the crowd goes near. He got the beard of a monk, heart of a champ. Lighting up the screen like a torch in the camp. Flawless flow with the hat game strong. Jay's love for MK been loud all along. Raise your hands, bring the hype alive. It's go time, baby, on Nerd Cage Live. Not just a fan, he's the lore's front line. With that Kung Lao beard, he forever divine. Fatalities break, but his voice stays firm. He can narrate a match and make the world turn. Sonya to Lou, from Raiden to Khan. Jay got the knowledge that stretches long. Reppin' the nerd life, never ashamed. He a hero in the shadows of the MK game. Mike in his grip, got the heart of a sage. Dropping wisdom like it's thunder from Cage. He ain't just watching, he's part of the fight. Living that lore in the glow of the night. That beard, it's a symbol, that voice, it's a blade. Every stream a battle laid. He got the beard of a monk, soul of a king. Running through every word he brings. From the pit to the throne, he's always live. Jay's the warrior of Nerd Cage. Shout to the fans, let the phantom thrive. Kung Lao proud to keep the flame alive. No lies, no pause, just truth and pride. That chin beard legend will never subside. Nerd Cage live. Jay wins. Ampicity.
All right. Oh, he's messaged me. Cool. Awesome. Okay. Excellent. Here we go. Here we go. How I'm gonna add. How? Where's the thing going? There we go. Pending. Pending. There we go. Cool. 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 There he is. How you going, man? Awesome. Oh, cool. Awesome. We're gonna join your server as well. Yeah. Yeah, all right. I'll send them. I'll send them now, just so I absolutely don't forget. But yeah, thanks, man. I had a ball, you know, trying to get them the right thing, because you can put in like all different types of genres as well. And yeah, just do whatever you want. Just do whatever you want with them, man. They're yours, so it's all free. Now when I came back, because my memberships are all like I'd never done anything with memberships, right? But what I did was I modified the top one, because originally it was access to the songs that are played on the channel, and I thought, nah, I don't give a shit about that. What I will do though is make it so that people can request songs that can actually be made, right? So if you want me to make a song for you and you've got that tier, then yeah, we can do that. So and it's called the first, it's called Fatal Beard, and then the Fatal Beard Unleashed, right? And yeah, so you know, nah, don't worry about that, man. I'm just happy. Dude, I tell you what, doing this music has been kind of therapeutic. It's been a lot of fun. You know, it's been a lot of fun, you know, doing it. So, but yeah, so, and one day, man, we got to catch up. We got to catch up, whether it's your house or mine. That'd be kind of cool, you know, because I watched your interview with Total MK, and that was amazing, right? It was amazing. So, you'll be on Twitch tonight, 3 hours playing God of War 3. Yes, the best one, right? None of this Dad of War shit, right? God of War 3 is the man's man of God of War, 100%. I fucking love God of War 3, man. If they ever put that out on PC, right? That'd be amazing. All right, I've got to find you on Twitch then, actually. Hang on, let me find you on Twitch. I'm not on Twitch much because, well, I don't stream there, but I don't watch a lot of stuff. But I'll I'll see if I can find you. Okay, live. So. There we go. I think I found you. Good stuff. So, Murphy says, what's good, Fate? Did you see the dev for the MKHD HD remastered original Mortal Kombat recently made his demo available on PS Vita? It looks beautiful. Is that Joe? You're not talking about Joe, or is it somebody else? I don't know. Let me know, man. Hate Untamed says, what about the graphics with the music? How'd you do that? Oh, okay, all right. So I kind of like, it's a bit of a trick, a little bit of a trick. So I got 4 monitors, right? And my monitor over here, okay, actually there's nothing on it except for just like a background, right? So I can I might be able to kind of show you, right? So that's it there, right? That monitor there. So what I do is that, that's Wallpaper Engine. So that there's an app on PC, on Steam called Wallpaper Engine, right? And the way it works is that, like I set it up so that way, you know, you're seeing the image, right? And then when I was changing wallpapers, there'd be a slight pause, and then you'd see the Windows desktop background underneath before it went to the new one. And I'm like, man, that's shit. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, right? When I've decided I want to do something, I want to do it like properly. So then I created like essentially like transitional imagery, right? So the things like flying through space or the speakers bouncing, things like that, they're just video files that I've captured from other Wallpaper Engine backgrounds. And so when I want to change the background, I activate one of those transitions. So then that's playing, and then I change the background, and when I come back, we've got a whole new image, right? So that way I can try and get like a visual, something to look at rather than just listening to the music as well. And I'm actually looking into, I don't know how expensive it'll be, but I'm trying to look into something where I can actually have video created from the lyrics. Right, so then I can attach that, and if it turns out to be decent, I can then attach that to the song, and then, yeah, you know. But I'll be honest, man, like working on that for the last few months has been a joy. I had an absolute ball, you know, and you know, I wanted to make sure that all the music, like I said, all the music played on the channel, instrumental, vocal, it's all been done through AI, so. It's been a lot of fun. There he is. There you go, man. Cool. Yeah, don't drop a weight on your head, bro. Wait, talking to me, right? Just be careful, right? Just be careful, right? Eye ballistic Joe. Oh, really? I have to look. So let's see what we can see. Why the PS Vita? I think they're working on another game, are they not? First Moon Games, is that their... Is First Moon Games... Oh, I think it is. Oh, okay. So is that their studio? Perhaps? I don't know. That's cool though. So, okay, Game Man, how you going, man? He goes, Stellar Blade is coming to you next month. Yeah, I know. Stellar Blade is going to be amazing, right? That's going to be really, really cool. So, the Game Man says, Sony, put the first 2 God of War games and the PSP games on PS Plus Premium, and then my money is yours. Yeah. So, obviously, if you're on PC, there are certain there's certain high seas ways of acquiring, you know what I'm saying, right? So running, say for example, running the original God of War, like the PS2 versions, obviously with the increase in resolution, look amazing, right? So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I think like I think Sony should just like start like dumping a lot of their old catalog. I'm surprised they haven't put Gran Turismo. Was it Gran Turismo 7? Is it 7 on PC yet? Yeah, they make a shit ton of money, right? And what's really cool, like Gears of War Reloaded got announced, right? And Gears of War Reloaded is still keeping their multiplayer. This is something that Sony fails. When Sony like re-released, like when they did the Uncharted Legacy Collection or whatever it was called, you know, they took the multiplayer out, right? It's like, what are you doing? Like, just leave it the fuck in there. It's so weird. Like, they shouldn't do that. So Xbox are leading the way with that. They did it with the Halo collection. They're doing it with Gears of War Reloaded. You know, and so Sony should be like, yeah, well, you know, people want to play these. Dude, could you imagine Uncharted 2? Uncharted 2 was the best multiplayer ever played. Like, in terms of Uncharted games. It was amazing. It was so good. Is it Gears 1 or all of them? No, it's only Gears 1. But I'm assuming that given the impact, like the attention to detail that they're doing with this, they're going to do the other ones as well. And maybe they're doing it like that for a reason. You know, maybe they want to make sure that each individual one is going to be like just, you know, faithfully restored, like to up-to-date standards with multiplayer. But that's going to be like really cool. That's going to be like really, really cool. Really though, there's a wrap for Android on the Vita, so they'll wrap the game maker build into it. Oh, okay, that's cool. All right. Michael says, what's your take on Boone's best ever DLC character poll? Okay, let's have a look. I didn't do a follow-up to that. Let's see where he's at. Final round. So, who won it? Who won it? Better been Spawn. Wish they announced E-Day. Yeah, well, E-Day, I think E-Day is going to be pretty good too. I've always wanted, so, like, they did bring out Gears of War, I think it was Ultimate Edition on PC a long time ago, but you can't buy it or whatever unless you, like, again, sail the high seas to get it. Yeah, you need, yeah, you definitely need to have Gears of War on PC now that they've got, you know, the Halo Master Chief Collection. And we're missing a Halo game too. I think we're missing Halo 5? It's Halo 5, right? Like, that's the one we're missing. So who won it? So one person says Spawn, one person says Predator. Fucking, like, just this ridiculous focus on DLC characters. Oh my god. There is an entire generation of MK fans that, like, just think NetherRealm fighting games are the best. And it kind of saddens me. It does. Right. It just does, man. It doesn't say who won, though. Because he's got, like, on May 2nd, he's got the final round, Spawn versus Predator. And then, hang on, oh, I've got to go over here. Okay, never mind. All right. Sorry, my bad. Oh no, Spawn won. Final round, remember Spawn vs Predator. Well, judging by this, over on Threads, it was Spawn. So, I Want a Kiss from Devora. You know she's a bug. You once told that MK Trilogy style combat should return. It still has some juggle combos. Do you like juggle combos, or you envision something different from future games? I'm not against juggle combos, right? Just not... So, what we have in MK1 is like... It is literally Injustice 3, right? The flighty combat, bouncing the characters everywhere, you know... Like, if you go back and play Ultimate MK3, MK Trilogy, a bunch of the characters do have pop-ups, which you can then do juggles. That's fine, right? I'm not against juggle combos. I'm not against combos. I would prefer also that when you're blocking something, you're blocking something, right? So if you're blocking and they start doing their, multi-hit combo or multi-input combo, you block it all, right? It doesn't matter whether the kicks go low or high, you block it all. Now, if you're standing blocking, they do a sweep, sure, take you down, okay? You could leave things like an overhead. So if they're turtling, right, you could come in and do an overhead, right? But you can't juggle off it, right? You're just sort of going, hey, you can't sit there and just turtle. But at the same time, because you'd have chip damage in MK, you kind of don't need an overhead because you're taking their damage away regardless, even if you're standing there just going bam, 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 bam. Daryl, how you going, bro? What's happening, man? Daryl Sung is in the house. Vanilla MK3 for life. Yeah, I'll be honest, man. Like, even though MK3 Vanilla was missing some key characters I love, it introduced some new favorites, right? So I fell in love with Cabal, right? It was great. Like, Cabal was such a great addition. Obviously, like, I thought Cyrax definitely was more appealing to me than, say, Sector. And then I'd say, like, even though it's not new, but Unmasked Sub-Zero I thought was pretty incredible too. That was like really, really awesome as well. So yeah, and we've also made songs about Daryl as well. We've had, I think I've sent you both of them, but we've only played one of them live on stream. So it's up to Daryl if he wants to hear his other version live in front of the audience. But No K says Vanilla MK3 storyboards were everything. Yes. So when I did my my big MK3 tribute trailer when I came back, I wanted to include the storyboards, right? So even though storyboards weren't animated, I put them in there in an animated fashion, and because they're important. That's the things I remember. That's the stuff I remember. When you're at the arcade and you're seeing all these story things flash up, telling you what's new with the game. It was pretty impressive for its time. It was something that other fighting games weren't doing, at the time. So, that was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Daryl better be doing guest vocals in a song. Well, Daryl has actually shown now. I can't remember. Maybe you can. He has been put into Mortal Kombat game, right? He shows up as a Easter egg in one of the Mortal Kombat games that I believe Tay Drusus is working on. Unless I got that wrong. So yeah, that was pretty cool. So where's okay. So if anyone, so we can play Daryl's song. So I have already played his first song, but we can play his second song. Right, if Daryl's up for it. I know I've sent both to him, but we can definitely load that up if people want to hear it. So I'm down for it. I'm definitely down for it. So Donga, Daryl better be doing chatting with the 3DO guys tomorrow. Oh, excellent. Yeah, that 3DO one is very cool. Daryl says we're only 3 fatals away from a finished 3DO version by Sean. I will show in the finished game soon. Awesome. That's so fucking cool. That's really, really cool. All right, let's do Daryl's other song. Right? Master of Mortal Kombat. Yeah, I think this is is it? Which one did I do first? I can't remember. Which is the first one I played? Master of Mortal Kombat. I think it was. Hell, let me start and let me see if I can figure it out. No, okay, it's this other one. All right, let's go.
To the arcade, hear the coin drop. Daryl's tongue fly, and then the grind won't stop. Fire up the classics, feel that hype. Fatalities coming, yes, fight night. Rotate, kicking, scorpion flipping. Sub-Zero, ice cold combos hitting. Raiden bringing thunder, change some shits. Yo, chat, who's next on the hit list? Test your might, feel the energy rise. Daryl's taking names while the chat goes wild. margins, can't you see? Sonya's flipping, Jax is smashing, reptiles lurking, Baraka slashing, Kano's laughing, the game's intense. Daryl's combos make no sense. Test your mind, feel the energy rise. Daryl's taking names on the track goes wild. Retro rhymes, so backs all day. Flawless victories, we don't play. Finish him in the zone. Uppercut lands, yeah, another gets thrown. Toasties fly, the hype is insane. Daryl's the king of the Mortal Kombat game. So grab your controller, step in the fight. Daryl's going live, better join tonight. Round after round, bring that heat. When Sung's on stream, you know it's elite. That's the light, feel the energy rise. Daryl's taking names while the chat goes wild. Retro vibes, throwbacks all day. Flawless victories, we don't play. Joystick locked in, fire in his eyes. One frame in, but no surprise.
All right. So there we go. So I think I've sent both of those to. Oh, 1 second. I just got to answer my phone. Hang on. Okay. Sorry, my apologies. I had had to deal with a very personal thing on the phone. My apologies for that. So, don't often use my reloading screen at all, actually. So that was, I got to dust the cobwebs off of that. Yeah, so now, also while we're discussing obviously stuff and related to, you know, the state of Mortal Kombat, or at least can it be saved? I think the bottom line, I think the way Mortal Kombat gets saved is by its legacy. I think that if NetherRealm and Warner Brothers decide to go down the Capcom route and re-release the old games with online rollback netcode and in really good packages, we've talked about this before many times, then I think that'll be a good way to sort of fixing the image of Mortal Kombat publicly. It was interesting because I know I covered it a long time ago where Ed Boon was kind of shocked that there was like an older generation of MK fans still. And that's what I mean when you look at something like Twitter, right? And Twitter is not real life. Twitter is not, it's not the, the pulse of the entire world and whatnot. And so I think that was absolutely a mistake, and he shouldn't have said that. Well, I mean, he can't say that, but I'm saying, like, I think it was just, I don't know. I think it was just so out of touch with, who loves Mortal Kombat. I mean, we've got Daryl in the chat, and go check out Daryl's channel. It's amazing. Classic MK player, does streams, play with his fans, that sort of thing. It's amazing. Covers Mugen games as well. And that's all really awesome, right? Like, there is a hunger. There is an absolute hunger for classic MK. And it's almost like they're terrified of giving the fans what they love and want because what, people won't buy the new slop, and that may very well be true, but at the end of the day, they're going to be making money, right? Now, what's really interesting is that when you look at something like, for example, World of Warcraft, right? So World of Warcraft came out a long time ago, and then what happened is that once it got to a certain point, people started to reminisce about the original release of World of Warcraft, Burning Crusade, even Wrath of the Lich King. And what happened was that people started to create private servers of just those games in that enclosed space of, like, say, for example, just classic World of Warcraft, or World of Warcraft and then the expansion of Burning Crusade, or then the Burning Crusade and also Wrath of the Lich King. And these private servers were very popular over the last decade or two because it gave people what they fell in love with, right? Now, what's funny is that a few years ago, there was a big thing. I think Blizzard got one of them to shut down. It was a fairly big private server. But what happened is that I can't remember if it was an ex-dev or not. I don't know. I can't remember if it was Mark Kern or something. I can't remember the name. They actually put through a petition and actually got classic World of Warcraft back. So now Blizzard, on their Blizzard app, actually has World of Warcraft Classic for those people that just want to play how it used to be, grind and all. I want a kiss from Devora. Thank you so much, brother, for joining the family. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that, man. That's awesome. Thank you. So you can do it. And so they were not only selling their retail copy of World of Warcraft, but they were now parallel selling classic World of Warcraft alongside it as well. So that way, people had the choice. People love choice. They want choice, right? And, when you feel like you don't have much of a choice and you're only stuck with one thing, it's kind of bad. And there is a hunger. Daryl's channel is absolutely a wonderful place to prove that there is a hunger for classic MK. There is also Fightcade, which is what he uses as well. And if you go on Fightcade, there are tons of people every day looking to play classic MK, playing classic fighting games. Now, Capcom has realized a while ago that by publishing their classic collection of fighting games in these different collections that they've done, I've already pre-purchased Capcom Fighting Collection 2, because there are 2 fighting games in there. that I have been hanging to play and play online. Street Fighter Alpha 3 Upper, or 03 Upper, it was originally called in the arcade, which is the version that we got on the PlayStation 1. So if you remember Alpha 3 on the PlayStation 1, we had Evil Ryu, we had Guile come back, and a whole bunch of other extra characters, including some of the new challenges, like from the Street Fighter 2 new challenges, right? So that was fantastic, loved it. And also the second one is Capcom vs SNK 2. Okay, so within the space of like maybe half a year, we've had from Capcom, Marvel vs Capcom Fighting Collection, and then we have Capcom Fighting Collection 2, and those two alone are some massive heavy hitters in those titles, like in those two collections. And that's what Mortal Kombat needs to do. They need to release a classic collection, right, of all the old classic arcade games, as well as their home versions in a classic 2D version. Add in mythologies, add in special forces as bonuses. Then release the Dada collection, the Deadly Alliance, Deception, Armageddon, along with Shaolin Monks. Simply just up the resolution of 4K. Give us all online gameplay, all of it, right? Let us play all these games online, right? And like they will just sell bucket loads. And then you could add in Mortal Kombat vs DC, as well as Mortal Kombat 9 in a 2-game collection, right? Either remastered just simply the visuals in terms of like the cutscenes or the whole game. Rollback netcode, done, right? You got 3 massive collections there, which would absolutely sell 100%, okay? Especially the MK9 one, right? That would be the big one in that collection. So that's why you put MK vs DC in there, because by itself it probably wouldn't sell that much, but you bundle it with MK9 and it's gonna do it, man. It's gonna do it, right? And they need to do it. Hang on. Okay, what are we up to? Bro, remake of the MK original and trilogy would sell like hotcakes. True. I'm convinced Warner Brothers just so out of touch and they won't fund it. So here's the thing: if you're going to remake the classic games, okay, you need to do a 1-to-1. Okay, so you need to make it so that there's just like with the Halo Master Chief Collection and say like Alex Kidd in Miracle World and the Wonder Boy 3 Dragon's Trap games, where you can press a button and it will instantly swap between the brand new graphics and the old graphics. The game still feels the same, both in like how the game moves and all of its execution. It's just you can swap between whether you want the game to look old or new, right? That's the only way a remastered version would work. Now, I will add in, okay, that they should add in an easy AI mode for those that want to get, through the game. Now, if you play Mugen games, from my experience, don't have obviously the AI from these fighting games, right? From the classic MK. It's got its own AI, okay? And while it can be challenging, it's probably a lot more in line with what people would expect that you get in a modern fighter, right? So I would add in an easy AI mode that you can select, right, between classic AI and like easy AI. And so that way people can play the classic games, get to the end bosses, defeat them, and go, now I understand why people love these games, right? The AI in the old games has always been a barrier because they were designed to take your money and make your hair fall out. Fuck you, Ed Boon. No, I'm just kidding. It's just a joke, right? So, that's what I would do. Okay? That's what I would do. Donga says, just saying what I've been working on myself over the last couple of years. Digitized versions would be so much work and cost, they would be almost stupid not to utilize AI for visuals. Of course, yeah. Absolutely. 100%. Slit says, MK has humans, Tarkatans, Saurians, Shogun, cyborgs, demons, Oni, demigods, gods, elder gods, titans, Nakianda, kitten, wraith, specters, revenants, vampires, centaurs, anything else. Nah, that kind of covers it. That kind of covers it, man. That's a lot, right? Capcom understands, says Nerd Cage Live. He says, I liked MK vs DC minus close combat. Was stupid, yeah. In hindsight, I would probably have more fun with MK vs DC now. Especially, you know, what we've been given. Donga says Shah Khan looked epic in that one, like Alex Kidd. Yep. No Cage also says MK4 Gold remake would be epic. Yep. Or simply just have us that we can run the games in 4K. Oh yeah. Also, I would add in as a bonus game into the 2D pack. So you've got MK1 all the way up to MK Gold, as well as any home versions that they made. So you get all the arcade versions, as well as MK Gold, all the home versions. So the Sega Mega Drive, Sega Master System versions, NES, Game Boy, you name it, right? Game Gear. War Gods. Who here in the chat remembers War Gods? Right? We need to have War Gods in there as a bonus game. Because War Gods was the precursor to Mortal Kombat 4. It was a midway 3D fighter, right? Unique cast of characters. Never had it outside of it showing up on the old PlayStation 1. Or the N64. I think the N64 got a version. Right? I would add that as a bonus game. So the first pack, the first collection would probably be the biggest. Right? The biggest. Okay? In terms of the amount of games, like variations, right? And then obviously the Data collection is less, but, you know, we're obviously getting the 3D era. So yeah, they're kind of, you know, stuck in there as well. Was Biofreaks a midway game? If it's midway, yeah, show that, you know, throw that fucker in there as well. 100%. Absolutely. Yep. Get them all in there. Right. Because, as you noticed, with the Marvel vs. What is it fucking called? Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. They have, like, the Punisher in there. Now, the Punisher's only a side-scroller beat 'em up. It's not an actual fighting game, right? Although, I've always posed the question, side-scroller beat 'em ups, are they the true grandfather of fighting games? Possible. War Gods was so loud in the arcade. It was, man. I love how it sounds. It's so good. No K says I'd love to remake Primal Rage. Yes. So Primal Rage is an interesting one. And I've got to try and get it working because I think some dev got it working on a main build, Primal Rage 2. Now, from what I understand, Primal Rage 2 was instead of just they were actually like human characters, and then you could transform into their associated dinosaur, right? Which I actually think that is kind of cool. But either way, either one, I take. I think they'd both be great. So, I used to use Voodoo because I liked his fatality where he ripped your guts out. Yeah, Voodoo was great, man. That was my favorite. Because of also, he was like Scorpion. You know, he had the Scorpion, like, you know, kind of like spear move, except instead of pulling them in, he pulled to you. So, what's the best version of Primal Rage you think? 32X? Outside of the arcade, obviously, yeah, I'd probably say that's the best. Yeah, because it never showed up on the PlayStation 1, did it? No. I played Primal Rage 2 at Galloping Ghost in Chicago. They still have it. Really? I see. I thought it was only in a... wasn't Primal Rage 2 only in like a beta form? Doc Mac, the owner, has been on our show. Oh, really? Oh. I need to see that. I need to see that. I need to see that show, man. Can you send me a link? I need to see that, man. Right. That'll be amazing. Primal Rage was on PS1. Maybe the PS1, I suppose. Yeah, because that was more powerful than the 32X. So, yeah. Do I have it on my... I can't remember if I have it on my emulator. Arcade version of War Gods is on my abandonware. Yeah. Yeah. So, I think I've got it running... I think I've got the ROM running on for War Gods. It's the full game, yes, twice. Really? Holy shit, I didn't think they finished it. I always thought they didn't finish it. Oh yeah, I got prom rights, yeah, that's true, yeah, okay, yep. Oh man, they gotta drop the ROM. Shit, we need the ROM. That'd be insane. Rage 2. Okay, I found a video. Alright, okay, alright, here we go. Man, that looks great. How do I play it? How do I play this shit? I need to play it because then I can review it. Awesome. Thanks, bro. Thanks for that link, man. That's so cool. That's going to be a great watch later. As a MAME 2.7. Okay, so what version of MAME do I have? Huh. Oh man, I gotta fucking play this, dude. Holy shit. Can I? Hang on, I'm gonna share the video. We're gonna watch it. I'll just have it like running. YouTube video. Close that. Alright, here we go. Alright. Gonna crank the volume so it's like the old days. Alright, here we go. I won't play the sound, I'll just have it like running. What are you are you downloading War Gods or this? Now somebody in the comments said that apparently you can play as the dinosaurs like straight up. Primaries on Sega Saturn. Okay, so Sega Saturn was the king of 2D back in the day, right? So it might be the superior port to PS1 version then. I gotta find out what MAME version I got. Sent you another good one. Oh, thanks, bro. Oh! So all right, Nerd Rage is flexing now. He's flexing now, right? They've talked to Sifu Ken Edwards, aka Art Lean. Hell yeah, man! Fuck yeah! You're the first. Oh, dude, fucking Art Lean, man. I always thought Art Lean should have been an MK character. They should have made him an MK character. So 100%. 100%. This looks great. Tadmark 99 was with us. That's awesome. God, fucking Art Lean was amazing, dude. Like, you know, that's what I thought. Like, I've said it before, but the cameos for Mortal Kombat 1 should have been these types of people, right? It should have been Art Lean. You know, it should have been like those, you know, the two Goro fanboys in the 95 movie, the ones that are like egging on Goro, right? Any NPC character or from the comics, Hydro, you know, or characters from Special Forces, that's what they should have done. Right? They should have had, they should have been non-playable MK characters, but part of the MK universe as cameos. That would have made far more sense. Far more sense. Oh, well, I can't wait to watch it, bro. That's so... I can't... Isn't it amazing? Like, Art Lean, right? Like, it was just... You know, there's something else too, right? This is one of the things I fucking hate what they've done to Johnny Cage, right? Johnny Cage's portrayal by Lyndon Ashby in the 95 movie I thought was great. At first, when I first saw him on screen, like at the very first time, you know, he walks in, when the door's open, he walks in, right? I'm sitting there going, right? But I actually really like his portrayal. And one of the key moments I really loved was when he meets, like he recognizes Art Lean. And he doesn't sit there and go, oh, I'm better than you, I'm the best, or anything like that. He goes, oh, Art Lean, hey, I saw you fight in London, you were great. You know? Like, he still, like, just, he was like, Johnny Cage, despite him wanting to prove himself, he still was humble. He didn't say, oh, I'm so great and everyone's shit or whatever, you know, or this stupid ass jokey crap that we get now. You know, it was, that was cool, man. Like, I liked that they did that. It showed Johnny Cage that he does, you know, he also can say to someone, hey, you're an amazing martial artist as well, and not just think he's like the center of the universe. So Donga says, I've been working on 2D MK game for around like 2 years or something now. There's just little things that come up, and I'm not the best of visual arts either. That's awesome though. Hey, listen, man, this is why I like the Mugen scene, right? Because you got fans of Mortal Kombat or fans of Street Fighter or fans of whatever, and they've been, you know, continuing the dream, continuing the love for the franchise. That's what we need. We absolutely need that, 100%. You know, and it's great to see. I gotta get this fucking ROM, man. Where's my I gotta see what main version I've got. Main plus. I think it's that one. Is it gonna fuck my screen up? I got 2.63. Okay. So, which version is this that we need? As of two. Okay. Okay, we're gonna get. Alright, so yeah, it's definitely. I definitely gotta get it, the newer one. Because you guys, I don't know if you guys have noticed, like I've got playlists on the channel, and over the time I've been adding so I'm trying to go through and cover all the fighting games, like review all the fighting games and put them in playlists, so that way if you go, oh, what's all the fighting games on like the Sega Master System or Sega consoles or something like that, they'll all be in there, right? Slit says, need Great Kung Lao, yes. Sing Sang, yes. Siang in a fucking game, damn it. Oh, dude. Yep. Siang would be one of the best characters, but I don't know if I trust NetherRealm to do it. I think we need to get NetherRealm away from Warner Brothers. We need to get them back to really loving MK again. Like, really loving MK again, you know. Oh, that was a fucking saber-tooth tiger, I think. Saudi Prince Elon Musk, let me borrow 5 billion. Yeah, we need someone to buy it, man. Right, like somebody else needs to just, you know, do something, because it's such a joke now. right? No, Kate says, yes, that Saber-tooth tiger was supposed to be in Primal Rage 1, but didn't make the cut. Yeah. I'm digging this, man. Oh, excellent. Cool. It's got Diablo. That looks fucking wild, man. That looks so good. There we go. Okay, cool. Game Man says, I highly doubt Warner will level sell Mortal Kombat. Still a big money maker for them. True. Yeah, it's probably the reason why Boone keeps like pimping it out in his tweets. You know, which is kind of sad. You know, but something needs to change, man. Like they got to do something. Something. You know, like the competitive side of things might be doing okay, but and the only time like they can sort of like gloat about whether like, you know, their game is like the top downloaded or something is, you know, it could be tied to like if there's big sales happening. We need something, man. We need to Mortal Kombat needs to get Mortal Kombat-y again, right? I used to love this. So see this part here. This is in the first Primal Rage 2. So like the world map, like each piece of land was like where like a different character was that you went to go fight. So No Case says, bro, that giant voodoo queen bitch, how many men would be willing to die for her? Would. Right. Like, you know, it's like the Melina version, you know, like she's got all the teeth and shit and people go crazy. Like we as men have no fucking brain, dude. Like we're stupid. Right. Well, I'll just put a bag over her head, it'll be fine. Did Warner Brothers stop making MK Legends animated films? I don't know. I've only seen the one. To be honest, I've only seen Scorpion's Revenge. I haven't seen the other ones yet. I've got them, but I just haven't got around to watching them. I was going to watch them with my son. So. Do people really care about the competitive scene? Well, a tiny sliver of people do, right? But that's not what sells the games. It's the MK fans that buy the games, right? Justice Swift, how you going, man? He says, what game is this? This is Primal Rage 2. So yeah, this is great. That's gonna be something I can work on. I'm gonna be able to get the I'm gonna try and get the game and then hopefully do a video covering it. So look, I don't mind getting a line and having a bash, but to be honest, I actually wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind an AI because I think they do it in Tekken 8, where Tekken 8 creates like a ghost of you, and then you can fight that, and it learns and adapts. I wouldn't mind an AI that did that in MK. Again, selectable as well, so that way, you know, you could always have this like unique experience. So the computer will try and like, if you're a bit of a zoner, then it will like try and like, you know, neutralize that for you and try and make you, you know, work around that and you know, try and do other things. I think that'd be kind of cool. Now, maybe they're doing that. I don't really notice it though. In the current MK games, I think they've just got their set standard AI, and that's it. So. Tekken 5 had that tech? Oh, really? Cool. Dusty Swift said, I had an action figure growing up with a lizard character when I was a kid in the 90s. I didn't know where he came from until now. Oh. So, alright, I'm gonna find. So there's another fighting game coming out. Alright, it's an action figure fighting game. I can't remember the fucking name of it. I always forget the name of it. Action figure fighting game. So it is called, yeah, here we go. So this is over on Lamb Chop's channel. I'm going to call them Lamb Chops, right? Just affectionately. This is Knockoff. Now, I'm pretty sure I've played this because I think there was a beta. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't a beta. It was a demo, right? You could download a demo of this game, right? So yeah, this is over on Roofamonger's channel, and it's basically like, you know, because you mentioned action figures. So this is basically that. Yeah, so you might still be able to get the demo. If you can still get the demo, check it out. Because it is fucking cool, man. It is really cool. Right? It's a lot of fun. Basically, He-Man and Skeletor, but they obviously don't call him that. Call him Cronan and Grimrot. God, I hope this comes out soon. I'm a massive fighting game fan, right? So like I'm not obviously like a pro of any sort of like, yeah, there's a, oh no, this is a different game. Okay, I was just gonna say it's on Steam. No, it must be on their official website. I don't know if you like American football, but playing a Shinnok and Raiden in NFL Blitz 2000 was absolute tits. So now listen, I don't know much about like the rules of American football. It looks like you need an encyclopedia for all the plays and stuff. But I used to play a lot of old like American football games, like the old John Maddens and stuff back on the Mega Drive, and there was a couple of oh fuck, what was it called? Joe Montana's football and stuff like that. There was another one that was on the Master System I used to play as well. That was cool. Master Combatant with the $9.99. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much, man. He says MK could be saved at the devs actually cared about it the way the fans do. True. Question is, will they? Right? Question is, will they? This looks really cool. Look how crisp that looks, man. Yeah, it's even got all the joints and stuff and everything as well. That's fantastic. Hopefully they get more characters because it's what, only the 6. So but yeah, see if there's a demo on the official website still, and check that out. But let's have a talk. We can have a little bit of a talk about the FGC if you want, because I've been noticing a bit of a split online, right? I've been noticing it for quite a while, and that's why I've sort of been saying that, like in the FGC, like the actual fighting game, the competitive fighting game side of things, we got two sides, right? You got the standard people that just want to go to tournaments, have some fun, meet some nice people, that sort of thing. And then you've got the mafia, right? And these are the people that are, well, they're not the greatest of the bunch. They have pretty toxic, you know, vile communities. They sort of think that they are the arbiters of, you know, what should and shouldn't be said, and, you know, have been a bit unsavory to people in the community. And I started to notice that the standard people in the FGC, whether like big name players or whatever or not, really don't like to or associate much with the mafia side of it. And I think that's a good thing, right? Because some of these communities are they're just absolute dog shit, right? And the way they treat people, the way they'll allow certain behaviors to go, you know, without being called out. and that puts a stain, you know. And when I started sort of like commenting on, you know, this sort of stuff like quite a while ago, you know, I came up with the term only pro, and only pro is a mindset. Only pro is a mindset of that I apply to people that have decided that, you know, they're better than somebody else because they press buttons better, right? It's not because you compete, it's not because you like the game, it's not because you play the game. It's simply the mindset of it. And so over the time, I've been taking a lot more notice of you know, certain people in the space. I gave props to Sonic Fox recently because, you know, and it's interesting actually because he absolutely does not associate with the mafia side of things at all, not even a little bit, right? And you have to wonder, because he's fairly intelligent, he's obviously very good at the games, but when you start to see some of these people that are very well known in the space not associate with these mafia types, then you have to start wondering why. Why is that? You right? And I think it's because they realize that, you know, they're just terrible and they're very toxic. Now, people can say that about me, and I absolutely welcome them to say that I can be toxic because of my opinions on the game and stuff like that, and that's perfectly okay. I'm not going to get upset about it. I'm not going to defend myself about it like some of these other people do, because at the end of the day, I just want MK to be better. That's it, you know, and I just share my opinion and that's it. But you get it. Yeah, I just there's other people too. There's also I'm trying to get a couple of folks on the show for the Fate Chat, to do some interviews. Some of them will be quite surprising, hopefully, if it all goes well, and they come on. That'll be pretty cool. But yeah, there's definitely a split in the scene, definitely a split, and I am absolutely seeing the reason for that, the reason why that is, right? And it's just part of you know, it's just part of like doing this for a while, you know, like I've had opinions on certain people, called out stuff, and then you can either see people change or I've gotten it wrong, you know, doesn't matter. I think what the way that Sonic Fox handles defeat recently and stuff like that, I don't know if he's ever been a sore loser anyway, but he said some dumb stuff, like, you know, when he said everyone else was dog water in comparisons, things like that, you know. Maybe he learnt from that. It seems like maybe he has, right? Some people, you know, like in the fighting game space, a lot of ego, a lot of things that get said, and some of it could simply just be surface level, some of it could be deep seated and they really believe it. But I think that, you know, focus, like realizing that this split has been occurring, or it's been occurring for a while, and knowing the reasons for that, has maybe sort of look at the competitive side of things in somewhat of a different light, and the people that are involved in it. I have people that used to compete on the Discord, or still like partially compete still, and I've seen people online that I've been following as well, and the way they conduct themselves and behave, and you know, they're definitely a different cut from some of the other people in the space. So No Case says, bro, those competitive widows are nothing special to me. Yeah, for me personally, like, I can say, listen, if you enjoy doing that, that's fine. Do you. But when it comes down to whether or not Mortal Kombat is successful, it's definitely us, right? It is definitely the actual MK fans that have been supporting for a long time, that you know, even when it's a bad game, we're still buying it and supporting it, because to a degree we're kind of hoping that it'll be alright. Because I bought MK1 day one, you know, because I was at that point fairly sold on it, and I'd much rather be able to have the game in my hands, be able to play the game, and then give my feedback on it. It's not like I've bought the game, I don't have it installed, I don't play it, and I'm still giving my opinion on it as if I actually know the ins and outs, right? Some people only give their opinion based on, you know, third-hand knowledge or information of things that other people have said. I prefer, at the very least, especially when it comes to my franchise of choice, that at the very least I prefer to be on the ground and go, yep, I don't like this, I don't like that, from simply just the MK fan perspective. So, No Case says the celebs, they're not celebs, they're not athletes. Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, they're just known for pressing buttons better, right? And they're very good at it, right? They're very good at it. But, you know, some of them, obviously, they let it go to their head, you know. But that applies to anyone that gets, like, famous, you know, that sort of thing. It can go to their head, even if you're not competing, you know. So you have to be very mindful of that. But yeah, Donga, thank you so much for becoming a consumer of Fate. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that, man. Very kind of you, man. Hopefully you like the content that's in there, and I'll be continually adding to it. Donga says cameos aren't the best, but they are there. Play 11 if you don't want them that bad. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like, I've played MK1 without using my cameo. In the very first 2 seasons, when I was playing online in Combat League, I didn't use my cameo, right? Oh shit, what game is this? This game is Prime Rage 2, the one that was just on screen. That was Knockoff, right? So look up Knockoff, fighting game. Hopefully the demo is still up on the website for you to be able to download and check it out. You'll just download it and just run the EXE and it's fine. Yeah, no, it's really good. It's a lot of fun. So, but yeah, I have just got the latest version of MAME now. So from there, I will absolutely try and get Primal Rage 2 running and cover that, because yeah, like, that's one of the things I do love for the channel is you know, setting up the playlists and building up that content so people can see what's out there, and what used to be out there as well. So I've got when Capcom Fighting Collection 2 drops, I'll cover that, and I'm in the process of going through my thumbnails for those reviews and updating them to the current, what I consider my current standard of quality that I've done. So yeah, Donga says I have 4,000 hours in MK1 but don't like the cameos either, but I seem to like the game, and that's fine. Yeah, some people sort of under the impression that if you're not a fan of the game and you're outspoken, such as myself, that somehow, you know, people can't enjoy it, or I'm going to think less of you because you do. That's not the case, right? It's your time, it's your money, it's your life. You know, I'm never going to take that away or belittle people because of that, because you know, that's, if you have fun with it, you have fun with it. Some of the costumes in it are pretty good, like the retro costumes are good. Some of the graphics is nice, but there's a core part, like a soul, that's missing from, you know, that was in classic MK but isn't there now. So Master Combatant says, I've asked this question several times and still not received an answer. Let's answer it right now. Why didn't NRS make cameos optional? Nobody would hate it as bad if the menu option turn it off. I'm not sure, because in MK11, obviously I think it was part of like one of the towers that could randomly happen, right? Where you could call out an assist fighter, and you could call out anyone on the roster. So that was the interesting part. Now in MK11, there's a hook, like a mod that allows you access to that, right? And you can choose any character and any character as a cameo, and those cameo characters work perfectly. Now what they should have done, right? Okay, I'll give you the reasons why I think they did it. Maybe, again, because Ed Boon has this fetish of trying to reinvent the wheel every time he makes a new MK game. That's probably the main reason. The other reason, and this is just a guesstimate, is that because one of the head people used to be a pro fighter, like a esports pro, right? I wouldn't be surprised if they thought that, let's create an assist fighter that allows us to go crazy with the combos, right? They're probably my two top reasons as to why I think they did it, because nobody was asking for an assist fighter, right, at all. Now the other reason, which Donga has also mentioned there, is that in the files there's actually reference to stuff that was going to be Injustice 3. The cameos were called sidekicks. The fatal blows were called super moves. So Injustice 3 was on the way, and then obviously they're like, nah, it's probably not going to sell. Let's turn what we've already got into Mortal Kombat. So I think that the next game that was going to come out from them was Injustice 3, and they halted mid-development and converted everything and thought, okay, we'll just make the Mortal Kombat an assist fighter, right? But that's why it feels bad. It feels bad because it wasn't meant to be, it was never meant to be MK, right? It just feels really shit. And if they brought out an option to play 1v1, most people would probably never touch cameos again. Right? I wouldn't. But the downside of that is that some characters need to be, like, you know, buffed, you know, given maybe a couple of extra special moves, in order to be standalone. So I would take characters' special moves from, say, Cameo Kung Lao that aren't on main Kung Lao and put them back on him. Right? Nerducated Life says General Shao was originally Steppenwolf. Yeah, that's why he's got the axe. That's a plain as day one. That one. Yeah, absolutely. Yep, 100%. Yep, and it's a shame. You know, it's an absolute shame. So, I think that, you know, I don't think the next game's going to be an Injustice game because I don't think it'll sell. Right? I don't think there's a market for it, for Injustice 3. Donga says, well, even playing Injustice 2 is the same feel. The floaty air main thing, MK was more ground-based. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. Now, to a fan of NRS mechanics, they love it. Right? I don't care for NRS mechanics. I can't stand the way the game feels heavy, you know, or, you know, it feels like you get stuck, you know, in certain combos and attacks. It's just, I don't know, right? Not a fan. Noke says those guest characters, Omni-Man and Peacemaker, were made for Injustice. Oh, yeah, 100%. Yep. A fucking 100%. Yep. And nobody would have cared. Like, I mean, I'm not a fan of guest characters at MK because you've got a massive wealth of characters that you should have brought in, right? But if they were doing Injustice 3, it makes a lot more sense to have those type of superhero or Superman type characters in an Injustice game, right? Because it makes more sense, 100%. But they'd already obviously, you know, figured out everything from, you know, motion capture to voice acting to, you know, obviously the license or whatever the fuck, right? Like, it was all settled, you know. So, yeah, MK Injustice has the same feel, floaty air main thing. Yep. Justice Swift says Fate. They were in Injustice 2 multiverse. Load it up and see for yourself. Cameos are basically from 2017. Recycled game modes from Injustice made into a full game. Really? Shit. Huh. That's terrible. That's disgraceful, man. Shit. Fucking hell. I didn't know that. I didn't know it was that long. That's wild. John R says, I agree. If you look at history, assist characters were always a superhero type game like the Marvel series. Somebody said something the other day. I think it was a comment. Somebody said that they probably would have enjoyed the cameos more if they didn't recharge. Right? So, or there was like a tiny recharge, like a couple of seconds or something crazy like that. Right? So, but you've got these big cooldowns on the cameos. So everything slows down to a halt as well. They fixed up the ground speed. Sure, the characters move faster after the initial beta. But as soon as you get into the actual combat, everything starts to slow down. And the fights take so long, man. Like, it's just crazy. Master Combatant says if they have time and energy to make guest characters, why don't they dedicate at least half of that time to main series characters? Yeah, exactly. I think that a guest character should be after the fact. I think a guest character should not show up until after they've basically gone, right, this is our MK roster. So... Oh, I always thought I thought the cameos was from that like certain towers or whatever in MK11, but what Justice Swift is saying that they're from 2017, like Injustice 2. So I didn't know that. Donga says guest characters agreed upon well advanced. Justice Swift says General Shao is actually Ares from the God of War from Injustice 1. That's his axe, and he has Ares logo on his chest. Wow, they really are fucking lazy. Damn. Like, I topically play Injustice games. Like, they're fun just to load up every now and then. But I have never looked that amount of detail. Right? But that's crazy. Donga says time takes to model and voice record them and everything. They have known well in advance who was planned. True. Yeah. Master Combatant says, still haven't found someone who's happy about Ghostface being in MK1. I mean, it dude's in a fucking bedsheet. He's in a bedsheet. Right? It's fucking weird. It says, can I send you a link in the cord? I have a 2-second clip of me doing some yeah, sure, man. Send it through. Yep. Go ahead. Donga says they just need to make it mesh better. With the story that the story went to pot anyway, so the level of care has kind of suffered in seams. Can you guys hear that? My dogs are like howling. How have they stopped? Oh no, okay, there we go. Alright, it's fine. Donga says, oh, where are you sending it, by the way? Are you sending it on, yeah, on the cord? Okay. Donga says they just need to make it mesh better with the story, but the story went to pot anyway, so the level of care has kind of suffered, it seems, yeah. Like Spawn, he fits so well. Yeah. Spawn at least makes sense. Ghost Rider makes sense. Right? Because they're, you know, they're sort of horror-esque themed characters. Also connected with Hell, Netherrealm. Right? So yeah, Total MK randomly showed up to be a live guest. What, in the game? That'd be cool. That'd be cool. That'd make some people rage, man. Imagine that they announced Total MK as a guest character, and like people just lose it. Like, yeah, that'd be funny. So. I think John R says, I think guest characters, if you're going to include them, should be only 1 or 2. They should cross over from other fighters. I actually agree. Right? And yeah, it should only be a couple. Right? Alright, have we got the clip? Hang on, here we go. There we go, man. Awesome, cool. Alright, I see you on the Discord, dude. There we go. Alright, here we go. Okay, cool. Alright, here we go. So this is his clip. Alright, here we go. Oh, I see what you're saying. Up in my I mean, if he showed up my house randomly, I'd be in shock. It's like, fuck them. Alright, here we go. So this is sent to me by Just Too Swift. There you go, man. This is the cameo in Injustice 2. I'll put it on loop. Okay, yeah, so I think this absolutely confirms that, you know, they were 100% like going to make Injustice 3 the assist fighter that it seemed they were working on, because they've got it nailed here. They've actually got it nailed here. How do you activate that? Are you using like the right stick to activate the cameos, or is it on a button with a direction? Nick Cage Ghost Rider, yeah, that'd be great. I'd love that. That'd be cool. Master Combat says, I would be lying if I said I hated all the guest characters, because I do like Freddy, Kratos, Jason, Spawn, and that's about it. They keep getting more and more. I think so. Here's the thing, right? I think that what they should do is bring back Creator Fighter and let us create our own characters. Right? Give us all the pieces to be able to create guest characters. Donga says, I can't watch this PTSD from all the MK1 fights against Power Man 5000. We'll come back. We'll come back to the game anyway. But yeah, so what I think they should do to get around guest characters, right? You create Creator Fighter, and you have all the pieces. You know, you just keep adding into the game or make packs that people can buy, right? Just like how you can buy stuff for your avatar in Street Fighter 6, right? And then you create your own character. You could create your own Predator and stuff like that. Now, sure, like now, actually, no, they could do that. They could add in like, you know, all the abilities and things like that if they wanted to, right? But that's the only way. That's the only way I would accept guest characters, because then you could just create your own. So, and that'd be the best thing. Because then, not to give them any fucking ideas, but they could make a lot of money too, right? Doing that, you know, just continually selling like different types of like character assets, like, you know, gear assets, special moves, you know, skins. So then, you know, for your Creator Fighter section. So, I think that'd be fine. Slit says, what if, and hear me out, Mortal Kombat Maker. We get to make our own characters, which in turn is rosters and in turn tournaments, and create a stage 2, download and upload, all community driven. I don't, okay, alright, so, I love it. I love it, I really do. But, I think you'd still got to have like you got to have the main meal, right? So I would have all of that on top, right? I would also have a random character generator as well and a random stage generator as well, right? That'd be cool too. I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know. It'd be I mean, it'd be a lot of work to create something that basically is like, this is a Mortal Kombat game, but you don't actually have Mortal Kombat characters. They're all custom made, right? Now, you know what, I'm actually liking, okay, so it's kind of like being selected for a Mortal Kombat tournament, right? All these different types of people all over the world. So the game would kind of be like that. You're creating these chosen heroes randomly, right? I don't know. It's possible. Look, it could be possible. But it might be a hard sell by itself. But being able to create the characters, any character you want, and any stage you want, I think would be kind of cool. Right? I think, yeah, I think that'd be kind of cool, right? And that would be separate to the conquest mode that I've talked about, where you create your own avatar, you go, you know, you go online into an MMO conquest mode, and you know, play like an MMO. So, but yeah, being able to fight using your own character against other, you know, creative fighters, that'd be great. That'd be really cool. It would literally be a never-ending, like it would never end. It'd be an infinite amount of content. You know, and it could just be the funnest shit. You're basically making your own like Shijinkos, you know, just you can go nuts. John R says, believe it or not, the wrestling game's got it down. You get the base game, an in-depth create a character, and a community upload or download. Yep, that's what we need, man. 100%. They did it in Soul Calibur 6. Where, you know, you create your character, you could upload it, or you could download other character creations, right? You need to have that. This is what I was talking about earlier about, you know, how do you keep people in the game, Well, this is one of the ways, right? You make it so people can create their own characters, right? Upload those characters, download those characters, create your own stages, upload those stages, download those stages. Never-ending content, right? 100%. And they could easily do it. Mario Maker in the wrestling games, yeah. I kind of like I think we're due for an oh, excuse me, sorry. We're due for an Armageddon 2.0 where we get every single playable MK character in the game, right? No guest characters, create a fighter, all the game modes, everything, right? Just go nuts, and you could sell that shit for years. Right, like you just keep adding content to it, and more content to it. Have conquest mode, full online MMO light experience, easily. They would make a fucking fortune. They want to talk about their live service stuff. We're literally giving them ideas, right? I had someone tell me once that they couldn't make all those characters. I'm just looking at them like, are you serious? Really? Okay. They have a team like that is so much bigger than the team that made fucking Armageddon. How is it that Armageddon had all of those characters, all the different types of unarmed and armed combat, all the fucking stages with transitions and death traps, and creator fighter, and motor combat, and conquest mode, and online, with a far smaller team? And you're telling me they can't do that, but on a bigger scale now, with a way bigger team? Absolute bullshit. Master Combatant with the $9.99. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you. I was hoping for Creator Fighter with a non-canon conquest mode where you could explore the realms with your character and do missions for characters of different factions. Yeah. So, okay. So, yeah, you could you could cross-pollinate. Like, my idea for Conquest is what you're saying. You know, just an open world MMO. You could either run around in like live servers or maybe offline mode. Either take your creator fighter into there or create your own one in there. I don't know. Like, you could do a lot of cross-pollination between the modes, right? That'd be great. That'd be really great. I'd love that. That'd be cool. Yeah. And again, it's a moneymaker, right? Because you can constantly funnel new assets in the game or get people to buy them. You know, you get your live service model. You give the fans of MK what they want. That's easy. Armageddon was Midway. Yeah. Damn right. That's why it fucking worked, because it was Midway. I just think of the potential, right? And then I get sad. And then I get mad. Right? Because I think about all the money they have. And they fucking waste it on stupid ass Ronald McDonald palette swaps and fucking voice announcers. How much does it cost to do a voice announcer? Right? I would take that money and go, no, just give us another MK character. But this is the problem, right? Because they're probably thinking constantly, oh, we've got to balance the fucking game. We've got to make this sure the game's balanced and all this bullshit. Which is why my other idea is that you have two separate, like, balancing things, right? Well, one balanced and one just fun. The balanced one is like the type of game where, like, it's made for, like, the esports scene. You know, so they practice in that mode, everything's tuned and balanced in that mode, and then that is then what they experience when they go to the tournaments. And then you get a broken mode, which is for the rest of us, right? Where it's just fun. They've been doing it in fucking MMOs and other online shooters for decades. They can easily do it. Easily. And then that way you satisfy both camps when it comes to gameplay. Donga says the expectations have changed because the people doing the work has changed. The demographic has a different ideology towards work, and the people making games now don't make them for love and art now. True. If you can build a team of people with passion, you'll find the same return. Look at Claire, that fucking Expedition 33 game. Small team. Passion. Created it. Boom. Sold fucking like gangbusters. Why? Because they made something that they actually wanted to make and that they loved. Actually loved. So, we need a trailer to the tune of The Boys Are Back in Town, and it needs to show Ed Boon, John Vogel, Dan Forden, and John Tobias. They're just standing there. Then we need Scorpion to spear NRS logo and say, get out of here, and then the Midway Games logo slides in the scene. That's fucking great. I love that, man. You should get AI to do that, man. You could probably do it. You could probably do it, man. Master Combatant says NRS has just gotten more and more lazy and the greedy at the same time. True. No-K says, how about an MK Shaolin Monks game in the style of X-Men Legends Marvel Alliance? Ooh. Yeah, that'd work. Yeah, because then you could just have, like, you could team up. You have all these characters just team up. Yeah, that'd work, man. I'm pretty sure I've got a Mugen game that they've taken MK characters in like a Streets of Rage type setting and made it a beat 'em up. I'd have to check, but I'm pretty sure I got it. HC, here you go, man. Just popped on for a bit. Mortal Kombat B&T, Blood and Thunder. Yep, number 2 up now. Awesome, thank you so much. So on the Discord, HC has been doing the Lord's work. He's been sharing. In fact, if you don't mind, dude, do you mind if I show the video on stream? Right, this is what he's been doing. Is the I won't play. Can I play the music, or will I get copyright hit? I won't play the music. I'll have the video play. So what HC has been doing is been sharing a lot of stuff on the Discord in the Mortal Kombat section. Go check him out. Everything from comics to old magazines with old MK stuff and everything like that. It's pretty cool. So let's check this out. So here's his. So what he's done is he's taken the comic and he's scanned it and he's putting up each individual page in just a slide along, like also not slide along, but you know, like going to each page as it moves forward. So this is cool. Well done, dude. This is absolutely fantastic stuff. So yeah, but so if you want to see more of what he's doing, it's not copyrighted. Okay, all right, let's play. This is so well done, man. That's awesome. Right, hang on. We'll just turn off the blinky lights. All right. So I'm going to post a link for that in the chat. Please go check out his stuff. That's absolutely fantastic. There we go. Right, go check out that. I've got other ones up there as well. And of course, if you want to join the Discord and see all the other stuff he's been posting and sharing, all the classic stuff, it's absolutely superb. So yeah, that's HC. Thank you so much, man. That was fantastic. Great fucking music too. Holy shit, takes me back. All right. So I might wrap it up. It's almost 3 hours. I want to thank everyone that's been watching. We got through some music, which was great. Very cool. Yeah, it was awesome. So much fun. Thank you to everyone. Thank you for the new members and whatnot. For anyone that's also, you know, paid monies as well. So yeah, so that song that was playing, no, that was HC's. That was HC's music. That wasn't my music. So. Ow, my foot's itchy. Okay, all right. Anyway, so I don't know what my next video is going to be. I think I've got a thumbnail done. I can't remember what I was going to do. I'll just make shit and then I forget. Oh yeah, I've done that one. I've done that one. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I know what I'm going to do. Yeah, I think I know what I'm going to do. So. Oh yeah, you can use my music. That's cool. I don't care. Right. So, oh yeah. So that's the other thing too. I think I'll have to, because there's a members only section, right? But I'm gonna have to, because like I said, I redid the highest tier. Originally it was to access all the music, but I don't care. Like I realized, I thought, well, people could find it anyway. So it's like, well, I changed that to say if you do pay for the Gospel of Fate, you can request songs to be made, right? So anyway, so there is a Fate members only section on there on the Discord. So if you are a member, just hit me up like on the Discord, and then I can find out, like, you know, obviously correlate that you are, and then add you to that so you can chat with people. Or maybe I don't know. I gotta figure that shit out. But anyway, but yeah, you could use the, if you want to link HC, then like some of the music I've already got. It's not instrumental though. I actually do, as you guys have heard, I've got a lot of instrumentals done as well. But I've got like a bunch of the vocal tracks already up on the website that I'm using. So, but yeah, I'll fix it later. Yeah, but yeah. But thank you everyone. Thank you for all the questions. It was a lot of fun. And thanks for everyone for tuning in. And like I said, thanks for the new members and people that sent money. You guys are fantastic. God bless. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video or stream. Gotcha.